We are back for more. My name's Danny Burke, and I've been a little bit obsessed with this series since the last video we made. I was glad to hear you guys were a little bit obsessed too. Because now we all get to enjoy the top 10 strangest Google Auto Completes part 4. Alright, starting off at number 10. My beard just grew a beard. Really? Did it? Are you sure your beard just didn't get longer? You know that if a beard grows, it's just a longer beard. The original beard hasn't got a beard of its own. This is something I never thought I'd be explaining in my whole life. Beards aren't like living creatures that just use men for transportation and then they just grow their own beards. Alright, moving on to number 9 now. Is it normal for my left nipple to be bigger than my other two? What? Say it again. No, don't say that again. Don't say it ever. I think if you have two nipples and then another nipple that's hurting, the real question is, should it be normal that I have 3 nipples? Listen, I know that some people are born with 3 nipples, it does happen, but are you telling me that there are more people with 3 nipples than there are people with 2 nipples and the left one is hurting? What am I saying? I've never said nipples so much in my life. Doesn't even sound like a real word anymore. Nipples. Next up at number 8. My cat is pregnant and I think I'm the father. Some people say that the internet is obsessed with cats. Some people say that the internet is obsessed with sex. I think this proves that both of those are true. Now we can all laugh this one off and say, oh, internet, you so crazy. But think, somewhere out there, a guy is nervously waiting for his cat to finish a pregnancy test. And that makes me ashamed to be a human. Moving on to number 7, and we're asking, what if one day you turned into an almond? We've had quite a few ones like this so far, haven't we? I know people like to imagine these kind of things. A healthy imagination is great. But what is going on with the world when this many people are wondering what would happen if they woke up as specifically an almond? I don't know why people are searching for this. I don't know how to get them to stop. I don't know the answer to the question. I don't know anything. Maybe this is what it feels like to be an almond. Coming in at number 6 now. Can Jesus do a backflip? That's right. If you're a Christian, you might have wondered some of the other suggestions we can see right here. Can Jesus do anything? Or can Jesus do miracles? But right up there in popularity, a lot of people are asking Google if Jesus can do a backflip. Now, I've never personally read the Bible, but I'm pretty sure there's not a passage in there about Jesus doing backflips. I'm not 100% positive though. Next up at number 5. How come I'm dead? There's a question you never want to hear. There's one of 2 explanations for this. Either a lot of people are being very vague about dying in a video game, or a lot of dead people are using Google to find out why they are dead. If you guys have any better theories on that, then please tell me, please, because dead Googlers are probably the scariest kind of Googlers. Coming in at number 4, what would happen if I hired 2 private investigators to follow each other? Amazing. I love this one. If I made a list of the best Google autocompletes, this would also be on it. This image shows there was once a time on Google where people would search for the answers to big questions about what would happen if the earth stopped spinning, if there was no moon, if the sun exploded, but they also wanted to know what would happen if 2 private investigators had to follow each other. Well, now I do too, actually, to be honest. That would be an incredible movie. Imagine, just a whole movie just that. Moving on to number 3 now. Pop-Tarts are not Kleenex. Yeah. Kleenex, the brand of tissues, you know them, right? Yeah? Well, news just in, they're not Pop-Tarts. I'm glad we could finally clear that up. What is going on here? More people are looking for confirmation that Pop-Tarts are not Kleenex than people wondering if Pop-Tarts are vegetarian. If we have any vegetarians watching this, make sure that when you next go out to eat, you ask them if anything on the menu is Kleenex. Let me know their reaction. Tell them I sent you. Don't really. On to our number 2. How does a blind person know when to stop wiping? Now, just because a question is strange doesn't mean it's not a great question. As soon as I saw this one, I realized I don't know the answer to that. Luckily, there's a great video by a guy called Tommy Edison on YouTube where he answers that very question. It's fascinating. I highly recommend you watch it. So yeah, making these strangest Google autocomplete videos can sometimes teach me something, like how blind people wipe their asses. I live a very strange life. And finally, we've reached the number 1 spot and we're asking, does New Zealand really exist? Well, I've not personally been there, but I know for a fact that some of our viewers are from New Zealand, so I'm going to put this question to them. Does New Zealand really exist? Like, really? Are you sure about that? I think people might be googling this because New Zealand is where they film a lot of movies like Lord of the Rings, so maybe people are wondering how that scenery can be so amazing and it's not like CGI. One day I would like to visit New Zealand and I would be pretty annoyed if I paid for a plane ticket and when I get there it wasn't even a real place. I'll kind of ruin the whole trip. Alright you lot, thanks for watching, thanks for for sticking around right up to the end of the video, but the series does not have to end. Shall we see what other weird things Google suggests for us? Part 5? Yeah? Find me in the comments section below and let me know. I'm Danny Burke, you've been watching Most Amazing Top 10, and I'll see you all in the next video.